Can you tell me a bit about what you were going to exhibit and what are the new ingredients from NZMP?
Sure. So the key, I guess, new ingredients that there's a number of things that are new or newish to us, but the key actual launch ones at the show was three additions to our bar portfolio. We've been in protein bars for many years, and we have some really great ingredients in that space, particularly a functional whey protein concentrate that enables bars to be a lot softer over time and stable over time. Usually whey protein tends to get quite firm in bars and especially quite chewy. This one is softer and less chewy and a lot more stable. You could either use it by itself or use it with other ingredients, and we still, even with the new additions to our range, we recommend that WPC 510 Flex Bar, we're calling it, is what we would recommend you use as the base of formulations, and then work from there as to whether you want to tweak the texture in any particular direction. So the way I liken bar formulating is to run like running a bath. If you just use hot water or cold water, you're probably not going to have a particularly nice bath. But people tend to formulate protein bars with a range of ingredients so they can tweak the texture into the particular zone they want it to be and get the benefits of various ingredients, whether it be more chewy or less chewy, so a more shorter texture so it gets out of your mouth more easily. Some protein bars, as you've possibly experienced, can be quite chewy, almost toffee-like, and hard to kind of chew enough to actually be able to swallow them. And then there's what happens over time, and often bars firm over time. So the three ingredients that we were launching were 2 whey protein isolate ingredients. The reason for focus, I guess, all of the ingredients are isolates. The reason for focusing on isolates is our ingredients have had some isolates in there, but largely been concentrates, which limits the amount you can use because of the sugar content. So the strongest brands in the market today are doing very, very low sugar content, and the lactose that's carried through from milk is obviously deemed a sugar and a negative. So we've been limited on how much you can use. So we've got OptiBar 892 whey protein isolate, which if you were trying to formulate with that one, it gives you high protein, low lactose for one. It helps you to get some more cohesion and to build texture into a bar, and really it's largely about optimizing the formulation in terms of the composition. So you might not make a bar entirely of this because it would be potentially a little bit more cohesive than you want, but if you blend it with other components, you're going to get a really good textured bar and have whey protein isolate on your label. The other whey protein isolate or isolated whey protein is called Short Bar 825 lactalbumin. This one is very unique in the whey space. We have if we think about a texture map from where the y-axis is from soft to firm and the x-axis is from short or just sort of comes out of your mouth easily, when not too much chew required, versus chewy at the other extreme. Most whey ingredients are on the right-hand side of the graph and often towards the firmer side, so very cohesive. This particular ingredient, as the name implies by being short bar, is actually quite good to break the texture, and it helps to shorten it. So that's very unique for a whey ingredient, meaning you could potentially formulate it with something like the 892 or our WPC 510, have an entirely whey protein formulated bar, but without it being nearly as chewy as you would get with traditional ingredients that are going to be in all whey solutions. So this one's really giving quite a breakthrough in terms of the texture you're delivering from a whey solution. The closest ingredient today that you would have on the market for such a composition or for such a functionality would be a calcium caseinate, but that's often not deemed as particularly label friendly these days by consumers. So offering an isolated whey protein as a solution is quite appealing there. And then the final ingredient is soft bar, short protein soft bar 1000. It's a milk protein, and this gives a lot of softness to a bar formulation, and it's designed to be used in conjunction with other components. So you could use it with, you may or may not want to use it with the soft bar 825, but definitely with the OptiBar 892 or the WPC Flex Bar 510 or a number of other ingredients you could consider, this ingredient would be a really good one. If you use it by itself, it's probably going to be too soft, which is probably a good problem to have. But if you blend it with other ingredients, you're going to help to build a texture around it, but it's going to really give a nice soft foundation for a bar composition and a bar texture. So it's going to keep your bar soft over time and give you some softening to counter any firming or firmer ingredients that you might be putting in the system.
How do you think that these ingredients fit into NZMP's existing portfolio? How different are they?
They are actually all very different. As I said, we've had a number of ingredients in our portfolio for quite a number of years, and we were really looking for new ingredients that are different, and they are extremely different. So the OptiBar 892 whey protein isolate, we haven't had anything in that texture zone, I guess, or composition for a whey ingredient before in our texture map. So that one's quite unique. It's, most of our competitors do have probably similar ingredients. So we're enabling you to get that option. The short bar is extremely unique in that it's a whey ingredient. So as I said, it does behave somewhat like calcium caseinate in terms of the shortening of a bar texture, but the fact that it's all whey is extremely unique, and I believe very unique to the market. And then the soft bar 1000 milk protein is much softer than anything else we've seen, and it is a relatively short texture as well, so quite unique to our portfolio. So it's really complementing. We have quite a big, I tend to use the word toolbox of ingredients for bars, and it might be a little bit overwhelming to some to say, well, wow, do you need all of those ingredients? And some formulators, depending on their preference, would use a lot of them, or some of them would use a much smaller portfolio depending what they're trying to deliver. But these all add unique tools. So we haven't got a box of lots of hammers. We've got hammers and screwdrivers, and we might have a couple of different screwdrivers, one different sizes, or a flat one and a star one, or whatever, different tools to be able to fine tune your bar texture.
And how would you say that they reflect what consumers currently want and demand out of their bars?
What we're really seeing with bars is a desire for higher protein and lower sugar, in particularly in the US market, although a lot of other markets, Europe, are seeing it a lot as well. And even when I was down in New Zealand recently, they had an HPLC bar, which I instantly thought high performance liquid chromatography, but no, HPLC is high protein, low carb bar, and that's what you see in a lot of the markets. And a couple of the big leaders here, like for example Quest and One Bar, are definitely in that space where they're delivering 20 to 21 grams of protein in a 60-gram bar and only 1 gram of sugar. So people are looking for convenience in a nutrition bar that's, people are busy, they're on the go, something they can throw in their bag, a backpack, whatever, and grab it on the go. But they don't want lots of sugar. They don't want the sugar high. Sugars become quite a negative. So finding ingredients that enable that while delivering the good nutrition of high protein. And then they also want something that they enjoy. Gone are the days except for maybe a tiny niche of the population where if it doesn't taste bad, it's not good for me kind of thinking. People know that bars can taste good and they want them to taste good, and they're often making that purchasing decision based on the sensory quality. So something that's not too hard, something that's not too chewy either, and obviously different consumers are going to have different preferences, but across the range, the more indulgent you can get and the more easy to eat, the better for the consumer.
And are they only designed for use in bars, or do they have any other applications?
That's a good question. We have been studying them specifically in bars. The short bar 825, I don't know it would have any other application. The OptiBar 892 could potentially have some other applications. Certainly if you instantize it, it could go into protein powders and things, but definitely intended for use for bars. And the other one, I would say just for bars as well, actually. So I think the answer is not really. potentially in bakery and things, but we haven't looked at those